What's happening, everyone? My name is Gad The Screamer, and I'm here to tell my truth with Natalie and Charlie.
Hi, Gad.
Hiya, what's happening?
So we're here to ask you some questions about your artistry, what's going on for you, what you're all about. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, very
Fantastic.
ready.
Should we just dive in?
You should, if you want to. I don't mind.
So you've been making music since 2001, yet many people would still call you an underground artist. Do you see that as a bit of a failure of your career or a failure of the industry?
Okay, to be fair to the industry, it's not much of a failure on the part. Although I would say that part of the reason I've been underground for too long is probably because the industry rewards budgets more than it rewards talent, especially currently. Although it's been that way since I started creating music. And I wouldn't say it's a failure of my career. I feel like it's a win actually, because every single person I started out making music with has stopped. All of them, they stopped. All the people the label I got signed on to then has closed down as far back as 2008. Wow. I am the only person still seriously pushing music there, so I think I'm winning,
winning in life. Yeah,
I'm still here.
Absolutely. So just want to go back to the artist that would have inspired you. Looking back at the artist who blew up while you remained relatively unknown, how many of them do you genuinely believe make better music than you?
I love to look more at the heavyweights than the people who are as unknown as I am, or in my category. And I feel there are artists who make way better music than I do. I mean, if I study you the way I study 50 Cent, I think you're successful. So I would say 50 Cent is really successful, and it blew up when I was still trying to on the come up. I'm still on the come up anyway. He's done way too many things. I love his hustle. I love the fact that he's petty online, but he's all about his business. When he's doing his business, it means what he's doing. I love Akon. I've tried to do stuff like Akon. My signature Gad The Screamer, I got from way back when people would say you sound a lot like Akon, and I was like, okay, let me just piece them off and make my name sound like Convict Music. I love T-Pain as well. He's
great selection there.
Yeah.
So just going back to 2001, how old were you in 2001?
As young as I was then.
How old is that? How old are you now?
I'll be 40.
You can lie, by the way. You can lie.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's another thing the music industry has to stop. The idea that the older you get, you're no longer relevant. I don't think so. I have better lyrics now, better creative mindset, more freedom, more ability to go against the grain than I used to have when I was younger. I'll be 40 on the 17th of September. So you can imagine how young I was in 2001. And 2001, I actually started writing my own songs. Not I'd been creating music with beats from other people before then.
Nice. So what were you doing? Were you putting that on? Were you recording it yourself?
I was just recording.
Were you in friends' studios? Were you in studios back in Nigeria? What was the crack there?
It used to be the age of cassettes/CDs, but the CDs took over later. So what would happen was, if you, for example, had a song, you had to find someone to help you dub. I still had some cassette players, although at that time cassettes were gradually beginning to get phased out. But it was slower then back in Nigeria than it is here, because you know how. And then sometime in 2005 there were more CDs now. So 2001 till 2003 I had not much CDs, but by 2004 I started ripping beats off onto CDs. I had my oldest brother was in Auchi Polytechnic at the time, that's Nigeria, and he would get famous DJ Mickey 4 to rip the beats off songs like I Got My Eyes on You, stuff like that. Then I would write songs to those beats.
Nice. Honestly, I remember those CDs, those blank CDs, and you just had to get a marker pen. Burn it on there, get a marker pen, put it in a CD. Oh my gosh, taking me back there, Gad. So talking about the industry and all of that kind of stuff, what do you reckon is the biggest lie the Afrobeats industry tells upcoming artists?
The Afrobeats industry
does not, blowing up.
Does not
it's big.
Yeah, it's big. It's big. I mean, we're all proud of it. Do you get what I mean? I'm so proud when I walk into the streets of Birmingham, London, Gloucester, and people reckon with music from my country. They even reckon with you as an artist who does Afrobeats, because they know you're from a culture that is taking over currently. But Nigeria's afrobeats industry tells up-and-coming artists a lot of lies. If you go to a space like Twitter, you're gonna see, if you type "dear up-and-coming artist," you will see a lot of nonsense. The idea that you have to go get a cosign, they call it a cosign, from established artists, I don't see the point.
What's a cosign? Sorry, just take it back because I don't know what that is.
So ideally, let's say you are a big artist like remember the video I did with Don Jazzy back in London when we held the show, the Johnny Jones.
Yeah.
Now most people would upload that because it's like Don Jazzy, in quote, F's with this guy. So you upload that, it's like someone big in the industry, or the entire industry, saying he's valid, giving you that street credibility, the industry version of street credibility. It doesn't make sense. If my music is good and I can push it, I don't need anyone's cosign. You know, or the idea that you have to feature some big artists to blow up. I could name 5 artists off the tip of my fingers to show you people who blew up without having to feature anyone. So it's a lot of lies. Don't release albums, don't release too many singles, release consistently, don't release consistently. Way too many lies.
Wait, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. sorry guys, I've got Natalie with me, and do you ever get it where you just look at a friend and you start laughing?
That's what she does for a living.
That's what she's doing, mate, honestly. Do you have any questions? No. Sorry. Anyway, hang on, give me a minute, guys.
She's going to tear at me if you give her space.
Any hoodly ho. Don't look at me. Oh my god. Anyway, back to the industry and the lies they tell.
Okay.
It's difficult though now. I think when you want to get your music out there, how do you get it out there? Like, what is your thing? Do you get on YouTube? Do you put a lot of social media content out there? Like, what's your strategy?
So basically what happens now is, before you create, you have to put out like publicity. You keep posting. You don't post on one platform, you post on like multiple platforms. And then while you're creating as well, basically the artist has turned to a content creator now. You're always creating not just the content that is your music, you're creating content like for social media. So we do all of that, and I use everything, even WhatsApp. Any platform I can get on is what I use.
So you're on the hustle.
Straight, non-stop.
Yeah, I love that. So in popular music, what is the most overrated metric? I don't even know what this question means.
Yeah.
So I need to take you back a minute.
Yeah. So
are you saying, like, the popular music, what's overrated basically in popular music right now?
Yeah, I think streaming numbers. There is this idea, like, if you even get on Twitter and people like want to get at you for like having an opinion. Let's say you say, I think this song by Whiskey doesn't make sense for me. He can do much better than this. The first attack you get is, you, the unknown artist, they go check your Spotify, they go, you've only got like 2,000 streams on this song or whatever. That's not a true testament to how well you're doing in the industry. I mean, I promote artists. I host events. I'm the host of the Africa Fest Gloucester. I've brought in a couple of artists into this country from Nigeria, from Kenya and other places. And what we found out is, you have artists who have like large figures, massive figures on the streams. They can't even sell out small venues. So is that really something to go by? Like, I have too many streams. That's not something to brag about. And we all know streams can be faked.
Absolutely.
People buy them. You buy streams, or you get someone who has a playlist. You chuck your songs in there. You get way many, streams. It doesn't like translate to you having people paying for tickets to attend your shows. So I'd rather I have like 1,000 people who buy like tickets for £20, £10, £30 to come watch me perform than have 20,000 streams. Because it doesn't even pay much anyway.
And no, and it gets you out there, like obviously being visual, singing live. Do you get a kick out of doing live stuff? Is that, a forte of yours?
I prefer that, yeah. I would give anything to have human beings come watch me perform than to have them stream or see me online. But, you have to do the streams and be seen online for people to come see you. So I guess that's why the internet is important.
And you know what? Saying all that, at the end of the day, it's about getting your music out there, getting people listening, and that's why we're here today, talking to you, to sort of get an idea of who Gad is, talk about the industry, your thoughts, your opinions, and where you want your music to go. And let's get into the music a little bit. So, album is called
A Bet on Self, the common one. A Bet on Self.
So tell us about what the title means. What kind of music is that entailing? What are we listening to? So we're going to be looking at that album. Give us a bit of a flavour of what we're going to be listening to.
So this is the first album. Of course, this is my 6th album. But this is the first album where I made an effort to like concentrate very much on afrobeats. My other albums, like A Spoonboy Once Said, Collage, and a couple of them, they all had like, you would see songs from other genres, because I find it quite interesting to like show that you can do other genres. You shouldn't be like just fixated on one place. But this one, it's about 12 songs. You will only find like one song that's a little bit close to, but still afrobeats. So it's called A Bet on Self because as the name suggests, it is the first time I'm truly deciding to bet on myself, to like do the things I like the way I like. I know I used to say I want to do stuff the way I want, but this time around I do not wish to listen to the industry. I don't even want to see me having any guilty pangs inside me like I shouldn't release an album because I'm releasing this album with my full chest. I'm doing everything I can to push it, and that includes editing my videos myself, shooting them myself, taking charge of the whole creative process, not listening to people talk about streams. If you can't get me on your podcast, I'm going to go get myself on a podcast. Whether it's popular or not, it's a podcast. I'll get interviewed. I am deciding to go fully against the grain, to not listen to the so-called industry bigwigs who like have created rules that do not supposed to exist. Don't have too many lyrics, don't go too deep. And what do you find? You find that the Afrobeats is being watered down to the point where people outside the culture are saying your songs have no substance. That's not going to happen on this album. A Bet on Self is me saying lyrical prowess is very important. Lyrical depth is important. What's not important is too many streaming figures when you can't translate them to market sales. When you can't sell out 300 capacity venues but you have thousands or millions of streams. I'm just doing it my way. I'm betting fully on myself.
I love that, but I think it's, with the whole creative process and wanting to do music, it's such a love for it, isn't it? And having that freedom without thinking I need to make it sound like this because then that's going to be popular. I need to put this in the content because that's what's going to get me more streams. So that's what you're saying, you're betting fully on yourself. The full creative process, and I think that's how music should be, right? It's in your soul, it's in your heart.
100,
It's what you want to give out. It's something that's important to you, and people will find it. People will listen, and being authentic self, True. Fabulous. So how many tracks are on the album?
There's actually 11 songs, and then there's what's like an interlude. It's called the hinterlude, from the word the hint.
Love a little bit of an interlude. Hang on a minute, did you call it hinterlude
instead of interlude?
I love that.
Then the hinterlude.
Why is it called a hinterlude? Because I love an interlude. I remember the Brandy album. It had all of these little. Do you remember it? It was all these little interludes in between the songs, and I was like, never. I love it.
So this one, because it's a hint, it comes after the whole album. So basically the album starts with the song The Reason, and the reason is like explaining why I do what I do, why I hustle the way I do, like as far as this music thing is concerned, why I put in so much energy into my whole entertainment life, even for my events. And then the end of the album is like gives you a hint as to why this album was created, why it's named what it's done, why it's got like the messages in it. It's giving you a hint as to why it's even called A Bet on Self. So I featured one of Nigeria's fastest rising hype men on that interlude because he captured the whole essence of what I was trying to say in that album. So you guys watch out for Adel's. He's good at what he does.
What's her name?
Adel's. Adelz. Adel's.
Okay, fantastic. Adel's. Like that. So tell us about, because obviously we need to find your music, we need to know where we're looking, so let's just have a conversation about where we find you. So let's talk about, have you got YouTube, can you find it on Spotify? Let's make sure everybody knows that your name and everything, so people can find you easy.
So I am Gad The Screamer, or Gad The Screamer, and Gad is spelled Gad space THE space SCREAMER. You can find me across all streaming platforms, including YouTube. If you can't find songs on my main YouTube account, you'll find them on Topics, still YouTube, Spotify, everywhere. I'm distributed across all platforms.
Amazing. And your content on your YouTube, I take it you've got videos going back as well. So you've got
way back. Wow.
Okay. Awesome. So we're going to now talk about challenging the Afrobeats establishment.
Yeah.
So what are the unwritten rules of the Afrobeats industry that you've deliberately refused to follow?
One of them is
Yeah, well,
don't release an album as an unknown artist. I mean, why are you telling me not to release an album?
Is that what people say to you?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. If you even go on Twitter, you hear a lot of like so-called music execs, because that's the new name. Most people you will find there, some are very intelligent as music executives, but you find some who they've tried music, they've failed, and now they've joined the wagon of those who rip off those who are still trying to make it in music. They tend to give you advice here and there. And what you hear is, do not release an album as an unknown artist. I mean, they have valid reasons, because if you push out a single, you tend to like give it more energy. There is currently what's called like people are bombarded with information, so they need to like take it a step at a time, one single at a time, so they digest and all. But the whole time I've been releasing singles, I mean, I've got like over 130 songs on streaming platforms currently. If I release singles, you're not blown. If you release an album, you're not blown. So what's the point? Put out music. Sometimes I put myself in the shoes of the people who are out there. The reason they give all this advice is because they think it's worked for someone else. If I start putting out albums now, like people now know I am this guy who puts out albums at least once every year. Now I become the album guy. It works for me. Someone else is going to pick up that microphone and start putting out albums. So no one is actually chatting what like is a universal law. They're just chatting what has worked for someone. So that's one of the like things they say on the Afrobeat space that's like quite, it's not really facts. It's just what they think. It's not what I think. Another one is that, like I said before, the co-sign thing. You have to go meet an artist or some big influencer who you're going to take a picture with, who's going to be, just push out your song. Charlie Puppy didn't have to do that before he blew up. I'm not sure Davido did. I mean, they had features, these artists, but they blew up with, like, they made songs and we loved them for their songs, not because they were co-signed by some artist or some big name somewhere.
Yeah, I love that. So obviously I was talking about how, big Afrobeats has got in recent years. Obviously that has been sort of long-standing, I think, in the UK, where it has got bigger and bigger and bigger and more, shall we say, commercialised.
Yeah.
Which actually, blowing up Afrobeats music is not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? It's a great thing for the industry. However, do you think that the mainstream Afrobeat songs that are coming out at the moment are too commercial, too predictable? So obviously, you talk about the collabs. You've got people doing collabs with, Selena Gomez and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So let's talk about how you feel about the predictability, or do you think it's just a little bit too commercial? Is it missing the kind of authenticity because it's sort of not watered down, but it's sort of playing to a crowd where it shouldn't be doing that? Do you know what I mean?
So this is the part where I'm gonna like offend a lot of people, but I feel like a lot of the Afrobeat songs coming out of Nigeria currently, because I will speak for Nigeria alone. I mean, I listen to Afrobeats from other countries.
It's a big country, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Nigeria is big, yeah. And I think Ghanaians have like really good sounds, but I feel like the Afrobeat songs coming out of Nigeria currently, a lot of them, especially the ones mainstream, are so watered down, lacking in depth. Or like, I know music doesn't have to have messages all the time, but what we're currently churning out, it's not the type of music that brought us to where we are.
And do you know what's really interesting? Let's break it down a little bit. Africa's a continent of countries.
Yeah.
So it kind of, even that gets watered down. Like it's Afrobeats. And actually, hang on a minute. Yeah. A Nigerian flavour is going to have a different to like, a Moroccan flavour, to a Ghanaian flavour, Ugandan. It's all going to be totally different. So it's almost like it's washed in a way. It's all centralised, and it's Afrobeats just comes from one place. And hang on a minute. So it's losing that kind of individuality. Because I must admit, I haven't gone. I look at Afrobeats, listen to the artists, like the artists, don't really think about where they're from.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between that then? So, can you tell that the music might be slightly more Ghanaian?
You can tell. I mean, sometimes you hear some Ghanaian artists sing, you would think they're Nigerian, but those of us who actually know, you can tell by a lot of things. Sometimes you tell like the traditional sounds like that are specific to the country actually like pop into what this person is singing that is Afrobeats. You can also tell when a Ghanaian is fighting so hard to sound a little bit Nigerian. I'm not going to name names because Ghanaians are our small cousins.
And I want to ask a general question.
But I would say another mistake the rest of the world makes is to think that every song that comes out of Africa or Nigeria is Afrobeats. You find out that a lot of genres are being merged or mixed or mistaken for Afrobeats. Sometimes it's a mistake like of ignorance on the part of the audience, but I think somewhere up there is a deliberate effort or attempt to make sure that everything is collapsed into just one genre, and that's wrong.
Yeah, because it just wants to make it so commercial, which is what we're talking about, making it commercial, featuring those artists that are very popular, and it just, you're totally right, it dilutes it, but it's diluting it for the people to make the money, and it's making money off. It's a shame, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's a shame the industry has gone that way, and I hope that there can be a little bit more thought process from the audience, especially when we're sort of,
with time it'll be possible to fix that. And also if the like the ambassadors of the Afrobeats culture like put their foot down, like if you remember when Burna Boy was called to put earlier on Burna Boy will be put on like is it flyers for, is it Coachella or something, and he would say, I want my name written in bold letters because I'm an African giant. And then there was a time our big dogs in the industry would go receive awards behind the stage or outside, far away from the main stage. But nowadays there are awards you call our big dogs, so they'll be on the main stage. So if they put their feet down the way they've been doing over time, probably, of course it will change, but that's if they put their foot down.
Yeah, you don't want such a diverse creativity to get washed down, watered down,
just one genre,
into one
name.
genre.
It doesn't make sense.
Do you think that somehow what you're doing is trying to keep that creativity and keep true to yourself, better yourself, you know what I mean? And that's a really important thing, and I hope a lot of people are listening
and respect that.
And I think us as an audience, we need to have a little bit more understanding, and I think we've got this, like you said, this ignorance of Afrobeats, and we just gobble everything up that is really good.
That's
sort of
the
take
good thing
and also
platforms like yours do. They educate people on what should be, because I'm glad you raised that question. I wasn't even thinking I'll hear that today, but it makes sense that platforms like yours like educate people and say there's actually way more like genres out in Africa or Nigeria, as the case may be, than just Afrobeats, and that you guys are mixing up the whole thing. You shouldn't allow what happens up there where there's a deliberate effort to like bungle everything into just the one.
And then having these collaborative artists, and that I'm going to be controversial here.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's not that controversial, but when I saw Selena Gomez on the Calm Down, I was like, fuck's sake, man, sorry for swearing, it is what it is. But whitewashing, I was just like, oh great, here we go again. So you're taking over this kind of like, oh, that sounds really good, let's have a piece of this because it's popular and it's really cool. Well, actually no, it's popular because people on the ground, normal people love this music,
but
and you're just jumping on a bang. I know it helps everyone.
It helps both artists if you really check it, because
100%. But I don't want like I don't want to see people that don't
to have its identity.
Yeah, I don't want to see somebody that was in a pop. He's into pop, but now suddenly this white boy is doing Afrobeats. You know what I mean? That just makes me quite uncomfortable.
I think collaboration is good. I mean,
collaboration is good.
I get it, because sometimes too, if the bad actors engage in that, then what happens is, they have like this attempt, this sinister agenda to like bury the genre and benefit from it, and make the owners of the genre not benefit from it. But other than that, collaborations are good because both artists, they get introduced to the audiences that they never owned. So Selena Gomez may have been known in Nigeria before Calm Down, but the point is, when she did Calm Down, more Nigerians noticed her. More Nigerians remember that. And then just like advertising would not only introduce a new product, advertising would also either retain existing customers or create like new experiences for new ones. That's what those collaborations do. So
I think I'm just being. I know it's not bad.
If it's not right, if it's done without a sinister agenda, do you get what I mean?
I think it's my issue with like the music industry.
To be fair, it's not wrong, because there are times when we've seen people accuse artists, say from another side online, and they go, you're doing this thing, you're burying this genre or this artist because you just want to, you know what the expression culture vulture is. People who just jump into the culture to benefit from it and never do anything right for the culture.
It's different when you envelop yourself in it. And, even for myself, when I first was listening to sort of jungle, drum and bass, house music, that comes from so many different genres. Funk, hip hop, all of those things, they really mean something to me. So I suppose I like that music, and I would You know what I mean? There is a sort of thing that you do what you do, you like what you like, as long as you're not kind of.
It's because you're
share the wealth.
Fan of Afrobeats, so you don't want Afrobeats to be tainted by any foreign influence. You just want it to retain its identity.
Yeah, and I think I'm interested now in sort of exploring what Afrobeats means, because it's an umbrella, right? It's not just one stream. It's like Afrobeats means so many different things. So I'm looking forward to kind of looking into artists and looking into sort of countries and getting a real taste for different artists.
I would have tried to give you a breakdown, but I like to tell people that even as much as I've been on the ground for too long, I'm not very qualified to give like a proper history of Afrobeats, because the people who've been doing it for too long also have like different ideas. You have like schools of thought who go, Afrobeat started here, Afrobeat started like this, some trace it to Fela, some trace it to Ghana, some trace it to Nigeria. It's just one whole, like one big conversation that's even crept into academic settings, so I can help you. You have to do your research.
That might be the next one, right?
Never forget to give Nigeria some credit. We've done so much for Afrobeats.
It's crazy, man. I mean, let's be honest. It's nice to have it in a mainstream setting. Let's not like depreciate it and go, no, let's just keep it to ourselves. No one ever listened to it. You want people to listen to it. I love Afrobeats. It's a vibe,
It is.
It's nice to not get it, just to hear your opinions on all this kind of stuff. So if you had a young artist in front of you, what would you advise them to do in the music industry? So you've got a young lad there, young girl there, sitting there, they're 15, 16. What are you going to advise them?
I would tell them to take it easy on themselves. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. Even the so-called big weeks, it didn't happen overnight for some people. Also, stop listening to people all the time. At the end of the day, you are the one who wears the shoes. You know where the shoes pinch. You just do you. And above all, understand that you have to love what you do. If you don't love it, you're gonna get frustrated. Like I told you at the beginning of this interview, every single person I started making music with stopped, and I'm still here.
Still here.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, even if I don't get to blow up tomorrow, I have made peace with myself that I love what I do. I won't stop. So you have to love what you do, because if you love it, you will go far down that path and be able to maybe meet victory when victory comes.
Following on from that, let's talk about success, fame, and authenticity, which I think is a concurring. That's probably not even a word. A theme that's sort of, I think, running through what we're talking about today. Do you think some artists can become prisoners of their own success?
I think so.
Have you met people that you've gone, ooh, it's changed them, or that's the success they've got has come at a price?
Yeah, I think. Again, I'm gonna get some people offended, but I've watched what Wizkid has done in recent years, and I would say that I am still a fan of Wizkid, because you can't stop being a fan of Wizkid. He has that aura that makes you stay there. Not the type of aura that Arsenal has as a football club. No, Wizkid is a success story. However, in my opinion, I feel like he pandered too much to the concept of like appealing to the rest of the world. And that has made this music, should I say, a little bit less appealing. I know his fans are crazy. His fans are actually fanatics. They will come for me. But the truth is, currently, I would choose a lot of Davido songs over Wizkid songs, unfortunately. Wow. That's what I mean. And that's because you could tell, even if I don't have the full facts, but from what we can observe, like patterns, there's that effort to like appeal more to the international audience. Fine, there's more money there, international fame and fortune. International fame comes with international fortune, but it kind of makes his music a little bit less tasty, if I use that expression. So that's like one example for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered another question that I was going to ask. So let's move on to another one. Would you rather have a timeless catalogue or 10 number one hits?
A timeless catalogue versus 10 number one hits. That's like asking me if I want to eat for a season or eat forever. I'd rather have a timeless catalogue, because it not only puts food on my table forever, it makes me respected forever. Do
you think it's like your story as well? So putting music out there is such a a story of yourself. It's such a vulnerable thing to do, to put your own music out.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we're all going to be dust, or we won't be here anymore. And you'll have this catalogue which tells a story, which
of me over time. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so imagine having that timeless catalogue and then it increases in value over time. I stop eating. My generations after me, they eat. Generations after my team, they eat. Do you get what I mean? Instead of having, 10 hits come with lots of money, but after that, you just forgotten. I don't want to be a passing thing. I want to be a memory. I want to be a legend. I want to be known forever. So I'd rather, I prefer that.
Have that timeless
one.
That's what I was talking about. So there's a lot in online about kind of sacrificing something to get the fame.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of, conspiracy theories, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what is like what you wouldn't do for that deal? Do you know what I mean? Have you got like a baseline where you're like, no, I wouldn't do that? Do you know what I mean?
There's someone asked me this question a few days ago, and I'm just going to be very blunt. There's one thing I am very sure here that I would never do just to get like funding or whatever.
Fame and success.
I would never ever support Nigeria's government, especially the current one.
Okay.
And I know there are people who support them just to be able to get money, say nice things about them just to get favors. I would never do it because that government has. I mean, the music industry will tell you never dabble into politics or religion or whatever. I don't care. I think we have to start telling the truth as creatives from this lower level to the top. I would never support that government for what they're doing now, just to be able to get. If you come now and say, because I think funding is like the only thing limiting me, I'll give you all the funding you need in music. Just say nice things about this government. I'm telling you, I won't. If you see me doing it, find a cane and flog me.
So can we go into that a little bit? Because obviously, just to give the audience members a bit of a background about what is actually going on at the moment and why you feel so passionate about that.
Yeah. So if you've been in the news recently, you would have heard like over 47 children kidnapped, and there are videos, imagine, of them being tortured and being maltreated and everything. But that's like the most recent one. For years in Nigeria, we've suffered banditry, we've suffered from terrorists and all that. However, this administration, before coming in, made it look as if they were going to come and change everything overnight. I know no one can change what has been reigned over time overnight, but it got worse with them. They've literally not done anything except take loans after loans after loans. In fact, currently, the afrobeats industry is suffering because of this Nigerian administration. Because people are not saying it, or they may be saying it, but not saying it loudly enough. Funding is not difficult. People who had money to invest in music have literally lost everything or are being very careful with their spending. So you have people not putting money in the music. Even Nigerians in the diaspora are suffering for it. Like when there were tours we did for last year that I was part of, where we were like, okay, based on what we've done now, by next year, which is 2026, we're going to get like more sales. What we're finding out is the sales are dropping because Nigerians, for example, in the diaspora are bearing the weight of the nonsense going on back home. So there's no money anywhere. Do you get what I mean?
Absolutely.
So they've literally ruined the country. I mean, my great-great-grandchildren are currently owing money even before they are born because the president and his cronies have borrowed so much money that we can't even pay back in this lifetime. I'm telling you.
Wow.
So like everything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong in Nigeria in recent times. And that's the more reason why when you get online and you see people say immigrants go back to your country, it hurts more. Because where are you going back to,
It's shocking.
Where do you want to go to? Do you get what I mean? Because sometimes if they speak to you that way, you could have said, okay, let me just go. Where do you want to go back to?
What's crazy for me is that you go onto the news and it's full of fluff and a load of crap.
Yeah.
But, I was really shocked to see all these disappearances have been going on for years. Missing children, missing women.
Yeah.
And you're not talking about, like, a couple. No. You're talking about hundreds, up to the thousands of people, like, en masse, being taken. And no one is talking about it. It's not there. So I can understand that. And obviously we all have a bit of a problem with government.
You have people even defending this malfeasance that we call an administration. People are defending it for whatever purposes. Some for the sake of tribalism, some because of what their pockets will get. Why would you defend such? If you had children that were kidnapped like that, wouldn't you want the rest of us to speak up at least? But that's where we are. So back to your question, one thing I'm sure I would never ever do just to blow up as an artist is to defend Nigeria's current administration. It would never happen.
Wow, respect for
I'd
that.
rather go chew poo than do that.
Well said. I think, you know, that's another conversation definitely to be had, and it's something that I just think a lot of us don't. We are oblivious to it. We are. The people watch the news, but it's not shown on the news. Do you know what I mean? We're showing what they want us to see.
Yeah.
Not the reality stuff.
Not the reality.
And we need to start listening to the people. We're all human at the end of the day.
We need to hear what's not being said from what's been said, you know?
Absolutely. Let's bring it a little bit back to the music.
Yeah.
Has social media made artists more successful or more desperate?
It depends. For unknown artists, it's made a lot of us more successful. It depends also on the type of success you mean. Like, there used to be a time where if I wanted 100 people to hear me, I had to go pay maybe some radio station or blah blah blah. But currently, if I post on my social media, hopefully 100 people will see my post. I could also like pay to boost the post to reach more people. So social media has kind of like decentralized how artists can deliver, you know, their products or like their songs out there. It has also made people extremely desperate. That's why you see even so-called established artists, sometimes I see some posts online, you know, this is paid for. Why are we having this silly conversation just because you have an album coming or you have a single coming? You're having a lot of conversations that are so irrelevant that diminish the value and status of the genre, you know? You know, comparisons, you know?
It's that desperation,
because they're
you know?
very desperate to like, you know.
Desperate people do desperate things.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you see on the internet, you've got artists, I believe, that make themselves a little bit more controversial.
Yes.
They want to rage bait people because it gets them more views, gets them more clicks. So they'll say outrageous stuff, do outrageous things, could be rude, and it's not actually their character. So for me, the authenticity is kind of gone, because you can kind of see now why people are doing it.
We call them banga boys in Nigeria.
Okay.
So you're an artist, and then you're suddenly a banga boy. A banga boy is that person who's always tweeting absolute rubbish just to get attention, rage bait, say outrageous things, even say things that put them in prison or land them in court, and they have to like seek help for legal, you know, assistance because they've said things they shouldn't say just to get maybe some chicken.
So this is it though, isn't it? It's about how we monetize things, and I think if we can change how we monetize things, and set some ground rules, have some morals out there. Do you know what I mean? I think there's base morals, man, and it would kind of reduce that need to do and maybe bring a bit more authenticity back and a bit more of a voice to other people that have.
To be fair to artists, though, the desperation is a little bit understood because now there are way too many people putting out content. So it used to be that before an artist, you had superstars who were like superstars for a long time. In fact, if you ask me, if Michael Jackson were to come out now, unless he has like top dollars, he will probably also fight for attention, because as Michael Jackson is posting, Gad The Screamer is posting, everyone is posting, and we're all trying to get the attention of just the same people. Do you get what I mean? I understand that desperation.
It's a tough fight out there, isn't it? It's tough.
It's tough.
It is tough to be seen. You know, you have to go with algorithms. That's the way of it. So hopefully there's something that can happen that can kind of change the way it kind of works. But I think more than anything, it's about getting yourself out there live, isn't it? It's about getting that person, telling that person, you got to listen to this,
and
look at this.
Constantly working.
You know what I mean? And having that, reaching out to those people that have that integrity in the music that they want to listen to, and spreading that word. So good for you. I mean, your catalogue, is extensive.
But it's not as much as I want it to be.
Really?
I'm currently, if this album comes out, it'll be between about 140 songs, 140 plus. But I want to have more, and there's a principle behind that, or like various principles behind it. First of all, because you're not known yet, you have to like create more songs, just keep it consistent. Also, I would say you don't make hit songs every day, right? So if I have 500 songs that give me, say, 1,000 streams a day, that's how many streams for that day. Whereas you could just have one hit song that, instead of having like with the one hit song that gives you more, I'd rather have many songs that give me like little streams that like amounts to a major numbers. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in my opinion, that's business. You may not have the hit singles every day. You know how many songs Burna Boy has? You know? But he's got like a few that are like massive hits. So I'd rather have like 1,000 songs that give me like 10 streams a day times 1,000. Do you get?
So let's get back onto your album, actually, because I think we've missed so many questions about your album that's coming up.
Yeah.
Talk to me about sort of what's is there a running theme in it? What are your songs about? Is there any standout songs that you're like, yeah, that one is that means a lot to me?
Yeah.
Is it like a concurring theme? So are you telling a story for your album? Is it separate songs? Let's get into that.
Yeah, so I faced a lot of betrayals before I started working on this album. Actually, I had an album ready. I finished working on an album, and then incidents began to like unfold here and there. I had a person I had basically engaged in business with for 3 straight years, and they didn't get paid because I was like, when we get to this year 2026, I need to like take my money. It was like savings for me, and I lost that. That would have been more than enough for me to push at least 2 singles comfortably, like at the level that the big labels do. I lost that. I just got tired of fighting, honestly. I just gave up. You know, it was just one betrayal after the other.
Wow.
And that was when I began to say, I need to stop thinking that. I mean, I believe very much in collaborating to achieve, goals. But I said, let me just start betting more on myself. And betting more on myself doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do everything alone. I now had to look inwards. Who are the people around me that have been there the whole time through thick and thin? Who are my people for real? So it taught me a lesson. Like, you don't really know who your people are until, things like this happen. And so the songs in the album are also like reflective of this happiness. You're going to find a song like Bigger Person, where I was saying that I put myself in their shoes, but their shoes were stinking. Their shoes, they smell. I said stuff like that because I know where I've tried to put myself in people's shoes. I did a song like How Can, like I make many sacrifices. I don't talk, I practice. Loyalty is my tactics because I don't fancy the way the rest of the world shows love. You find love, but then you also find songs where I also like, there was songs I created because the one person who I began to see as like the most honest person around me liked them. That's Kuso, who's gonna be 1 year old on June 17th. So that's another unique thing about this album. Every single song that was picked to be on this album had to be endorsed consistently by Kuso.
Okay.
That's my child. She would dance to them. So if she danced to them more than like 5 times, I'll be like, I'm gonna pick this because so I had like 5 songs per idea, different songs. So the one she really danced to, I'm using.
So she's really like, part of your album.
Yeah, she's like the A&R, A&R for this album. And I think there's one song there where we're trying to record this song about like what's going on in Nigeria. And the intro, she wouldn't just keep quiet in the studio. We found out her voice found a way to get in on it, but it was in the right timing where the Nigerian president said something on the song, because I featured him on that song.
Okay.
He said something there and the child cried, so it was like a good response, like she wasn't happy about it, let's just use it, so I had to leave it there. So youngest A&R, don't forget.
She'll have to feature on one of your next songs when she's a bit older. Fantastic.
Yeah, so she's also featuring on the song that's in her name, Kuso, coming on June 17th, just before the album. That's
so June 17th.
June 17th, Kuso is coming. That's the song about Kuso herself, and
Not
then
long.
the album comes June 30th.
Amazing. So you heard that here first, June the 17th.
Yep.
Single is dropping. Here we go then. So if this album becomes a massive success, do you think that there's anything in your career so far that may destroy that success or could come back? Industry beefs, anything like that, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't really had major beefs, to be fair, because I'm not in the mainstream of the industry, but I think the most notable disagreement I've had in recent times would be with Obi Franklin. That's Iyaya's manager. Iyaya, for those who don't know, Iyaya is like one of Nigeria's afrobeats kings. Iyaya is like world famous, in my opinion. He's good, and most people who know me know that as a promoter, I would never bring an artist whose music or image or brand does not excite me like maximally. So Iyaya is this person that I really, really love his craft. So we tried to bring him not long ago, and in hindsight now, like upon reflection, I think Ubi made some mistakes, but he didn't handle them well. So we had that disagreement where I had to go tell him I'm putting a bounty on people finding you, not killing you. They had to find you and tell me where you are so I get you arrested, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it was crazy because so basically Obi Franklin and that incident is the reason why Afrobeats events in Gloucester are like have died down because people felt to scam them, and we did not.
Do you know what? It's a shame. You know,
Yeah.
Nat and I have been to quite a few Afrobeats
Yeah.
nights that you ran.
The first
They've been
the first
amazing.
ever event that I held in Gloucester for Afrobeats, that was the Africa Fest Gloucester, August, is it 23rd or 24th, 2023.
Yeah.
Official count was 747 in attendance, right? And you know very well, when it's official figure, there are lots of people who sneaked in as well. No problem.
Yeah.
Whereas, getting 100 people to attend an Afrobeat show in this town currently is going to take a lot of work.
But when we, you know,
Because of that incident from
wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
Because we had, obviously we were at Angel Kitchen last time.
Yeah, it was full.
That was
it
buzzing.
took a lot of hard work for me. I
can understand.
stressed a lot.
It was such a good night.
I was having to explain to people stuff that happened 2 years ago, even like this is why this happened. I kept on explaining, and
So,
Franklin still doesn't think he did something wrong.
Maybe do
as
a little bit of a
manager.
shout out right now. Any venues that would like to get an Afrobeats night going on, get in touch with God.
It's in the works.
It's needed because there's nothing. It's in the works.
Yeah,
good because there's nothing. There's nothing, man. At the moment, nothing.
It's been hard pulling off because the venues are like the last time you had like a major event, you were supposed to bring an artist that didn't show. I said, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it wasn't the artist's fault. You know, the manager did this, blah blah blah. But now
I think
Franklin isn't here to see the whole drama playing out. He thinks he's done this and he's left. But it's ruined business for most of us.
Wow.
You know?
Because being honest, if you know, even if you had like some good DJs, did yourself, had some local people, you know, I think it would be a buzzing night. So I really hope that goes really well.
I always get fortunate because I mean
the
the people they support me a lot more. If you try, the support isn't like as it used to be because of that unhappy, because they were really pumped about seeing Obi, you know. But it's just what it is, man. I'm still a huge fan of Inyanya though.
So what about
his manager messed up doesn't change anything.
Fair play. So what about yourself? Is there, you know, are you going to get out to a venue and just promote your own music? Are you going to have like a little, maybe like a little launch?
Yeah, I think
like
I'm supposed to have a listening session with Mr. B Next TV.
Yeah, nice.
But I'm still working on it. I mean, sometimes because I haven't got like the budgets from say big labels, what I do is I work with what is most effective and easy, like more affordable to achieve. So if it happens, it happens. But if not, the good thing is everyone is going to hear the songs on that album.
Exciting. Okay, let's a few more questions for you, Gad. Keep on going because this is great. What is the one piece of advice that successful artists give that you think is just complete nonsense? So if you had artists come to you and obviously you've heard them say, do this, don't do that, what's the biggest load of nonsense that you've heard?
I think successful artists give good advice. The problem where the bad advice comes from is the so-called music execs planted all over Twitter, just trying to make you feel like you don't know half of what you're doing, but they don't even know half of what they're doing either. I can count the music execs in Nigeria that I know that are really like all about the game, like they know what they're doing. Even some that are not very much like Ago Binna. If you sit down and talk to Ago Binna, you would love the way his head works. I mean, he's been in the back end of like bringing out some artists, but he has that. He knows what's suitable for each artist he talks about. If you talk to Ola Oluwasomi, smart, and then there are some well-known like notable music execs who are like Thames manager, the Awani guy. If that's Muyiwa. If you listen to him on interviews, you know this person is not just smart.
Yeah.
He's very passionate about what he does. But you see, the rest of the up and coming artists crowd, a lot of fluff. Too much fluff, man.
So talking of that, what do you think is the most important thing, or it plays a big part in the music industry today?
It's funding.
Oh, do you think? Yeah.
It's usually the budget. In fact, these days is the budget over the talent.
Yeah.
Let me also offend more people because this is another thing we need to do. We need to start telling the truth. And the truth is that the best artists in Nigeria are not the ones being pushed as the Afrobeats, like mainstream Afrobeats artists, which is very bad. Let me give you an example. If you've heard of Marvel, do you know Marvel?
Yeah.
When you had Calm Down is a bop. Tell me one Marvel song that you can sing in the bathroom throughout.
Not like that. No.
None. And this is.
But that song is like an earworm. Even now, when as soon as you say "Calm Down," I've got it in my head.
Do you get when the song "My Baby, My Valentine"? Everyone could In fact, the first time I had that song was, I think it was in Gloucester. You get from a non-African.
Yeah.
What's one song that Marvel has sung that you like? I mean, there are some artists who are not really like lyrically deep, but they still got that vibe. I will give it to Charlie Puppy. It's all about the streets. But Charlie Puppy even talk. There are some things he says like, they stick with you. You kind of like feel okay. He's making a point. When he was doing when he was talking about using Pluto in a song, he had like an interview where he explained the whole concept of Pluto, how Pluto is like relative to the other planets and everything. Smart, intelligent was, but a lot of artists we have now, like, I don't even know what they're singing. Sometimes I go, am I too old? Is it that I'm too old?
Maybe. It could be.
But I'm seeing more and more people, younger people complaining the same thing on the internet. So it is too watered down now.
Yeah.
We're giving more prominence to budget over talent. And the rest of the world are watching us and they're actually saying it. I got friends, because of the kind of event I do, I got friends from like across Africa and they say the same thing. What's happening to you guys? Like, these songs are not, So it's not just me. No, we're not singing like the people who came before us. If some of the artists we push now were the ones who came before us, Afrobeats wouldn't be like shown to the world the way it's being shown now. No,
and I
think it's gone from like this to like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that can happen in music. We always have these things where it goes up and then it sort of plateaus a little bit. In
the rise of Afrobeats is still too young, especially relatively, for us to have that plateau effect.
But I think that's a lot down to the audience as well. I think get out there, search for music, look for different artists. It's where do you find them, because it's so algorithm now. It's trying to find those platforms. So what I need to find some channels on YouTube. You can say Spotify, but it's very different. That's individual artists, right?
Maybe the audience is to be blamed a little bit, but I would say that the creators, the industry itself, is to be blamed the most.
That's what I mean. Like, I want to have a streaming platform. I want to go on YouTube and put in the genre that I'm looking for, and I want there to be different artists on there. I want to listen to different artists. Not just the same names.
Down songs. Do you get what I mean? Because this industry has
independence.
It's basically part of the media, and it has a gatekeeping function. So whatever it puts out is what the audience are going to consume. It's like when you come to my party. If I've got Sunday roast and jollof rice, you're going to eat them. If you come and I only have Sunday roast, you will eat just Sunday roast. Or say I'm not going to eat and walk away. But I'm not introducing you to what you like, which is the jollof rice, as the case may be. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you
mean.
The
industry, I blame the industry a lot, especially the people who put the funding. I think we fund popularity now, or we just fund, I don't know, that maybe there's an effort to like make Afrobeats watered down.
Whatever's going to make them money. That's literally it. It's playing into the algorithms. It's playing into a popularity contest. There's so many different ways, but it is about the money, isn't it? At the end of the day, which is a shame, and hopefully we can bring that a little bit back. But again, I think it just takes a bit of an army of us to sort of bring it back, and like you were saying, like you're doing today, which is very much speaking your truth and your thoughts and what you think about everything. I want to ask a question, because obviously you've been in 25 years in the music industry. How do you feel that plays? Do you feel like you're judged for being a slightly older artist? With how does that play for you?
I get that sometimes, but the truth is, even if I was the youngest artist in the world, I still get judged. I still get opinions. Unfortunately, opinions are like urine. Urine is water, but you don't drink it. So people are gonna say what they're gonna say, but the truth is, bring that young artist that you have. Let the artist come out. Let's sit down and create. Let's create. Let's deliver and see who's delivery. Like, it's not about. I mean, the older woman in the kitchen should have more broken utensils. That's, in this case, experience. I got more experience, especially lyrically, than what some would consider younger. And what is even young? I mean, me being 40 on September 17th compared to an 80-year-old artist who's older. And we've got like, in the history of Nigeria's music space, there was an 80-year-old artist or 82-year-old artist, I think Fatai Rolling Dollars, that like blew up again at the age of 82.
Yeah?
Yep. He had been like mainstream before, but not as mainstream as he became when he was 82.
Yeah, have you watched the Sugar Man?
No.
Searching for Sugar Man. So basically there was this LA artist, and he was... it wasn't LA. It was Detroit, somewhere like that. Anyway, And he was this beautiful artist that made some music in like the 60s, 70s. I'm fluffing this up, but anyway, the story and the narrative is that he made this music and it became really popular in South Africa during sort of the apartheid movement.
Yeah, okay, I think
you couldn't get the records. You had to sneak it. Because he was quite, revolutionary. So he become very underground, very popular. Like they used to have to scratch some of his songs off.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that they would.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. So then years later, they thought he died. There was a rumour that he died. He didn't die. No. And they found him, and then he came back, 30 years later. And to this massive concert, honestly,
so everyone just goosebumps and all,
yeah, and he didn't even know that he'd blown up in South Africa. He didn't even know. He was just part of a movement. He became popular because his songs meant something. It was like, so it can happen at any time.
Exactly. And the truth is, currently, there's this idea in my head, like I feel it strongly in my heart that there's always an audience for a particular artist.
Yes.
Yeah. There's this other rapper in the US. I've forgotten his name. I discovered him like a year ago. He said he'd been making music for 20-something years, no traction, nothing. But currently, that guy is touring everywhere by himself and is very independent. So he doesn't always work the way the industry makes it.
It doesn't. It really. I've got friends that are going back into when I was younger, we were making drum and bass. We were doing funk, soul, a bit of jazz, and there was a live drum and bass band, and they're really good artists. They're quite successful within their own right, but they're bringing the band back together, and they're like 38 to 40, and I love that.
Time too old to chase a drum.
Music is music.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get excited about music.
It's good.
Really.
It's good.
So this seems like a stupid question now, because I think we've got a flavour of what you're about.
Shoot.
What is more? Here we go. What's more rebellious today? Speaking your truth or chasing trends? I think we know. Yeah, speaking your truth.
Speaking your truth.
Absolutely.
Speaking your truth is more like it. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of, is it flake or flag that they call it? But the truth is, your truth is still the best truth ever. You have to speak it because people are speaking theirs too. And the people who don't want you to speak your truth, it's not that we're saying you're stubborn, you're this, you're that. It's not that. They just feel bad that you're not sounding the way they want you to sound.
But listen, if you don't want to hear something, you don't have to listen.
Close your ears.
That's it. Close your ears.
Close your ears.
That's it. You know what I mean? It might not be meant for you. You know what I mean? Like the music.
Yeah.
Your music, I think it's fantastic that you've been going for 25 years and you've got the tenacity to keep on going and keep that sort of joy, because I can feel it. That joy about your music. And
I tell you, man.
You're very proud and it's exciting times, I think. So talking about that, so do you work with producers, or do you have producers that you really admire at the moment?
Yeah, there are lots of producers I admire. It used to be that I've always felt like I do not wish to work with anyone anywhere unless I connect with you. Even if you have the biggest name. I mean, experiences I've had with big producers when I try to work with them, like after the song That Girl from Birmingham, I wanted to work with some really, really big famous producers in Nigeria, and I didn't like the experience. They had this thing they did where they would make you feel smaller than you are. And the truth is, I'm paying you to make this big, and you're charging me way higher than you charge anyone because you think I'm out of the country and you think I pluck money from trees, but you also are talking to me the way you wouldn't talk to me. And also you want me to bring, for example, one of them wants me to bring his own artist to the UK to come do a tour and everything. And I'm telling you, your artist might be all that way you are. The unfortunate thing is, it does not make business sense for me to bring your artist on a tour.
Was he asking you to kind of pay for that?
And pay and all that.
Stop it.
Okay. And he would also ask me to pay this artist to collaborate with. And I said, listen, I know I want to break out in the music thing if I have to, because, well, for now, I do not wish to pay anyone that much money. I'd rather use that money to promote the song. And he just didn't like it. He said, that's not how to make it in the music industry. You have to ride on the wave of the established artist. And then I think I ruffled his feathers when I said, if an unknown artist pays a blown artist for a feature, he's actually also helping that known artist.
Yeah, I think there's that mutual respect as well.
In people's minds, no one is helping anyone if you really check it. And if that song blows up, everyone's going to say the known artist blew you up. That's the truth.
You're just doing your thing. You're going down your own lane.
Doing my thing. I mean, people think it's being rebellious, but I think that's me living my truth.
I think as well, when you've had 25 years in the music industry, and let's not be subtle about it. You've gone on tours. You've done some amazing things.
I've played around. I've studied the business as well. I still study the business. That's another mistake most of us unknown artists make, especially on the afrobeats space. We do not, at least even if you don't know where to study, try to follow music business pages. If you hop on my YouTube now, you're gonna see like my most liked videos, my most viewed videos are from like music business pages. Learn from the mistakes of people. Currently in Nigeria, there's the case of world famous King Madi going on with her label, and I'm watching everything. I'm wishing that this is a publicity stunt, because everything I'm saying, you can see that someone somewhere has probably not been able to settle down and say, let me learn from the mistakes of other people. Let me learn to read my contract, or let me create a contract where I make my artist go through this and be sure of what he or she is going through. Someone somewhere hasn't done something right, so they have not learned from the past or studied the business properly. I have studied the business from outside of the industry, and I often say it, like, I know people in the industry know how it works, but me paying a big artist to blow me makes no business sense. It is better I use that money for publicity.
I'm so sorry you did a double entendre. Which was
to blow me. Sorry. To blow me up. That's the whole point of it.
Anyway, it leads on to another little interesting question. Ooh, straight face. Do you think record labels now, because you can get your own content out there, because you can do more things yourself, do you think that makes record labels slightly more obsolete? So you're not kind of like thinking, I got to chase that record label.
No.
You don't need to do that. Do you feel that?
No.
It's like, what's your perspective?
I spend more time chasing, the same way we chase investors for the events we hold. Like when you want to bring in an artist and the fee is like heavy, and you want to do like multiple artists for different countries in Europe or everything. The same way we chase investment is how I chase investment for my music. I rather chase the money and the funding with like a proper contract in place, like this is what you're going to get back. If it doesn't work, I see how I'm going to pay you back, than for me to chase labels to sign me. But that's not to say that labels are entirely useless. Some labels have like structures, have relationships they've built over the years that they can still utilize to put you out there. And that's why you see sometimes, especially on the Afrobeat space, a lot of artists that were really like popping, they leave their labels, they suddenly don't pop. Maybe because they haven't got those relationships that the labels get. I know some people say they get blocked or whatever, but the truth is, labels are big.
It's a team, isn't it? You're buying into a team. A label is a team of people that are behind you.
Like the team, what I have around me now is enough for me. If I have the funding, it's enough. Because I mean, the same artists that have these labels, they come for tours in the UK and leave the entire responsibility of promoting their shows to us, the promoters. So do you really think they have it all figured out? Do you know what I mean?
Obviously not.
And not to pull on anyone, but the truth is, I've been in meetings with them when the artists are, and I size their team up. I want to learn something new from you guys. There's nothing new to learn. In fact, I'm having to teach you. I'm having to show you the ropes, and this is me who's not even in the scheme of things, and in quotes, in the music industry. So labels are not bad, but if you ask me, I really do not need them, especially at this level.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm big enough, maybe let's say I get fun and push myself to a point where I get enough leverage, we can talk. So what can you do for me that I haven't done for myself? That's the only thing I would want to do with a label. What can you do for me that I haven't done for them? It's a partnership now. It's no longer like you're the savior and I'm the,
What's your favourite part of the process? Would you say, from start to finish, you're creating, you're writing, laying a track down, promoting the track? Like, is there a favourite part that you have that you think?
The writing.
The writing.
And then, because I call the writing from the moment I hear the beats and start forming things in my head to laying the very inaudible vocals. Sometimes if I don't want to just jump on the microphone and start singing, sometimes I lay gibberish.
So
there's melody there.
What's your process and your creative process with writing?
So in recent times, apart from some times that I've had an idea for a song and said, create this beat, this is how I want it, I control the whole process of making the beat. Sometimes I hear it, but when I had beats by Bethexy, creator, that's his signature. So he made some beats and I'd be like, okay, I love the way they sound, and each beat tells me something. Each beat has it's like a word. Some beats, I hear a beat and I just think about something random. Then I sing a lot of gibberish as melody. Then I lay vocals on all that gibberish.
So do you record it? How do you record? Do you record it on your phone? Do you just, are you out and about just like wherever?
If you open these two for this one, and while I was coming back, I was at the city center just recording something to
really?
A random beat.
Yeah.
By Is It Tiki Mix beat. I saw it online and someone walked across and the person's whole like ranting on the phone call and all that was in the recording, but it was in the city center.
I quite like that.
And anyway, I have my gibberish to write from. Maybe, who knows?
And do you think that can come from anywhere? So you could just be doing
anywhere,
anything?
Anywhere in town, in a car, in a bar seat, anywhere could happen. On my way back, like if I take a walk from Maysmore back here, I record a lot of stuff on that forest from Maysmore to the city centre.
A question that I have is, do you think that you, since coming to the UK, do you feel like you listen to different kinds of music since coming? Do you feel like is there a big difference in the music that you listen to now? Is it broader or is it kind of like not really much change?
Not really much has changed, but I have better understanding now.
Okay.
Because back in Nigeria, actually, we used to listen to a lot of stuff. Afrobeats just became bigger, like relatively recent times. It used to be that Nigerian parties will have a lot of hip hop and foreign songs. And until now, there are still Nigerians who prefer foreign songs, who tell you Afrobeats, you know. They like get a kick and feel superior for listening to foreign songs. So we used to listen to a lot of foreign stuff.
Did you what about things like grime and stuff like that?
Nah.
Not your thing.
Not to pull on grind, but nah.
No, I'm just intrigued.
We know all, but it's not like this. The closest.
What is your thing? What's your influences?
We like drill.
Okay.
You know, like but for me the most like notable songs close to drill that I like would be like the funny ones, like what is it Daps or what's his name does 2 + 2 is 4 every day by day. And that's how all UK rap sounds. That's another problem I have with you guys. All the rap sound alike. Come on.
You kind of, it sounds like you take a lot of influence as well from your your everyday life, from life.
A lot. From plenty genres, plenty experiences, plenty backgrounds, you know. Plenty like different people. I mean, music is like a dish. I don't want to have to eat just the one thing every time. I need to have like a lot of you know, offerings on my plate, different, you know, dishes.
And let's remind ourselves where we can find it. Just to reiterate this, because obviously this is probably going to need some heavy editing.
Yeah.
So where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram as Gad The Screamer, on TikTok as Gad The Screamer Official, on Twitter as Gad The Screamer. I'm actually on Snapchat, Gad or Gad The Screamer. I'm mostly Gad The Screamer everywhere.
Do you do lives? Do you ever do lives where you're like
not all the time, but I tried it last time. I think I'm gonna do it again.
Yes.
I did a little giveaway, and people were really like, some were telling me like this giveaway apart, like you have like some good songs. I was playing Waiting My Ex One Talk. It you send me out 2 pompous. Boss me when they throw my shots. We'll get it back cause they know shortcuts.
No, you can't stop there. Right, let's bring this back. Do you want? I'd love to. Do you want to do a bit of a? You know, give us a bit of a favour.
Come on.
Give us a live favour.
I don't have to.
You don't have to because you go your own way and you speak your own truth. But it would be awesome if you could just give us a little bit of a lyric.
I'll probably do something from the album that is coming. I go straight to the point. No this and that. Baby, you don't need to panic. You have a mansion in my heart. You keep it clean and bossy, and that's my vibe. You don't need magnets, you go still attract me.
Love that. You've got some lovely smooth little vocal tones there, haven't you?
Thank you.
No, I'm really looking forward to listening to your album. You know, it's going to be a really, really good thing.
It's coming June 30, A Bet on Self.
So when's it coming out?
June 30th, A Bet on Self
by
Gad The Screamer.
Thank you so much for letting me, you know, ask all these random questions. Honestly,
thank you, Charlie.
Really looking forward to hearing your album. Can't wait to see a live stream sometime.
It's coming. See
you out live, which would be amazing, and you know, not forgetting getting these events back on track, which obviously you were a massive part of, you know, in the Gloucestershire music scene.
Them, I promise. Thank you for having me, Charlie and Natalie. Once again, welcome. Everyone, my name is Gad The Screamer, and my album A Bet on Self is coming out on 30th of June 2026. Catch you guys soon.